Okay, let me just grab this. Okay. Gold. What can I say, guys? We're just going to check these. I've got a 4-hourly chart and a daily chart on your screen here at the moment, and can you just, we can see that, hopefully we can see that chart. That would be good. Whoops, and what have I done now?
Yep, we can see your charts.
You can see my chart? Great, thanks, Lloyd. Okay. One of the things I look for when I'm trading is, and being a trend trader, I look for and I'll just show you here over on the right-hand side, is my ADX, which shows the strength of the trend, which needs to be moving strongly upwards above 25. As you can see up here, and Alexis was very kind to blow it up for me on the screen, we've got my moving averages of 20, which is blue, 50, which is red, and the monthly pivot, flat as a tack. The ADX is below 25. The MACD is almost lifeless down there, showing absolutely no momentum. And gold has just been consolidating. It's been consolidating. It went through a major consolidation back here in August, in September, and then we had a little bit of a dip, and that's just come back up and back into the range and just going sideways again. What I am looking for, and if you go back to, and I know Shukri mentioned Ray's analysis that he has done on Markets Made Clear, Ray Gilmore's analysis, that gold normally consolidates or has a small pullback, and then what we look for is a following of the US Treasury bonds, 10-year Treasury bonds. There seems to be a high correlation between US T-bonds and gold prior to an election. So Ray had done an analysis on gold and T-bonds and expects gold to sell off. Now, we've been talking about that happening even with a seasonal bias to the short side for some time, but as you can all see, I'm getting very, very little in that regard at all. I've got nothing to trade here. I've got just a consolidation. It's going up. You can even see here on my 4-hourly chart, we had a bit of a run, and I thought, oh, here we go, we're off and running, and came in, hit this level of resistance, and just turned around and went straight back down again. It's really hard to trade unless you're a Geoff who loves these ranges, but for me, that's not what I'm looking for. So until I actually see a bit more of a pull up above 25, and that doesn't mean that reading this average directional index does not mean that because it goes above 25 that the financial asset that we're looking at is going to rally. It means the strength of that trend, whether it is a rally or a sell-off, is increasing in strength, and that's what we want. We want a bit of strength behind us, and the moving averages separating, and as they separate further, that also indicates the strength of trend. So that's been a really, really tricky scenario for it to play out this week, this month actually, and I'm really looking forward. I'm really looking forward to the elections getting out the way so that I can have some kind of direction. I believe I will start to see some kind of direction coming into, or even just after the election, regardless of who is going to go in. So that's one of, like I said, I've been sitting watching there, drumming my fingers on the table and not getting very fast at all. The next chart we've got is oil, which closed below $40 over the week. After it also has had, you can see it just, we had a poke down and then straight back up into this range. It really is struggling. It's been very sensitive with geopolitical news. We've had a few things that's actually happened during the week that have given us some really strong downward movements, and especially on Friday, there was a rig count on the US rig count, and I know we haven't really spoken about it, but it's one of those indicators I look in the background, and it indicates future production. So with the rig count diminishing, production goes down, and with an expansion of number of rigs being open, you can expect oil to indicate that it's tending to expand production. But under the current circumstances, I think we can all just say, why would they do that? Unfortunately, the rig count has gone from the end of September from 180 rigs to up to 211 this week. And that would seem to indicate that some people are just not, some of the producers are just living in, let's call it wishful thinking, shall we? There's a bit of wishful thinking in that it should be hoping to just keep the balance, especially with that European lockdown that's happening as well. The other thing, and I just need to pull up some charts that Geoff has given me, and I'll just say on gold and oil, they are big weight Cs. I am hoping that, by the way, with oil, that the OPEC really pull some of these producing nations in to line. They have been very hopeful with that, but we all saw what happened when there was a flooding of the market of production and demand was dropping off back in April. It was, as we all saw, it was pretty ugly. So for me, on gold and oil, I've got just major consolidation on the timeframes I look at, on the 4-hourly and the daily, and we'll just have to see. I think we're just going to have to wait until after the elections. But in his absence, Geoff, being the good man that he is, this is one of his 4-hourly. He is a bull on the Aussie dollar. He is right there with Alexis on her analysis of what she was saying further with what's been happening and how that's looking on a fundamental basis. What he's looking for is that, and I'll show you on the monthly chart. On the monthly chart, what's happened is the downward trend line, the major downward trend line has been broken and come back and retest this level at 70 cents. And back on the 4-hourly chart, we've closed at 71.33, and he's going, okay, we've broken, had the first breakout, come back and retested, and he's looking for a long.
Ainslie, you're still on the US oil chart.
Oh, okie dokes. How did that happen? Thank you. Okay, hang on.
Geoff does love this Aussie dollar, I have to tell you, Ainslie. He was on about it all week last week, the Aussie dollar. He's not going with anybody else. He likes it, and he was right actually. There was a bounce with the Aussie dollar in the end last week.
There was, right to the end of the week.
Yeah.
There was